in our libraries as the new normal. Colleagues, embracing digital resources is no longer optional. Our patrons expect access to information anytime, anywhere. As we special librarians move forward, let us commit to build our digital capacity in supporting our users and leading with our confidence into the future of library services. Without wasting any time, colleagues, let me hand over to our Ms. Maria Lesile, our interim special library interim committee member from Geoscience, who's going to welcome you and set up the scene. Ms. Maria Lesile, go ahead. Thank you, colleagues. Miss Maria, are you here? Unmute yourself, Maria, and welcome. The colleagues are waiting for you.
Good morning, colleagues. I can't see her on the attendees at the moment. I'm just trying to look for her.
Okay, thank you so much, Aphelele. Colleagues, I will do that. You are welcome to this webinar, and then feel free, colleagues, feel free to engage with our presenters. We have 3 presenters today who are going to tell us more about their lesson learned from their different libraries. We have a presenter from ATNS. We have a presenter from South African Library for the Blind, and then we have a presenter from SABC. Colleagues, we are this is a engaging webinar where we need your ideas as special librarians. So you are welcome. You are welcome to put the comments or the if you have a question also on the charts so that you can attend to it after each and every speaker have spoken. So colleagues, this is our day to learn a lot. We are ready for this webinar. We've been waiting for it ever. Welcome. And then without any wasting of time, let me introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is Dr. Refilwe Mabaso. Dr. Refilwe Mabaso is the head of Department on Information and Knowledge Management at Air Traffic and Navigation Services, with extensive experience in information and knowledge management, information governance, research, innovation, records management, library services, and organizational learning. She holds a PhD in information science from the University of South Africa. Dr. Mabaso has served in various leadership and governance roles within professional and academic bodies, including board and council participation in knowledge management, library, and information science sectors. She is currently involved in several professional associations and contributes actively to the national and international information and knowledge management discourse through conference presentations, research collaborations, and thought leadership engagements. She is the former chairperson of the National Library of South Africa, currently serving as the chairperson of the South African Library for the Blind, among others. On her flagship project is leading the strategic leadership in strengthening the Memorandum of Understanding between UNISA and the ATNS, aimed at bridging academia and industry through collaboration, research, innovation, knowledge exchange, museum development, air traffic qualification and accreditation and capacity building initiatives. Dr. Mabaso will talk about the lesson learned in practice, diagnosing and strengthening library service at the ATNS through knowledge management. Dr. Mabaso, the stage is yours to tell us more about this topic. You are welcome. Thank you so much for even accepting our invitation. We really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you, colleagues. Dr. Mabaso, I'm timing you. You have 20 minutes to tell us more about you. Thank you. I mean, about ATNS. Thank you so much. We can't hear you, Dr. Mabaso. Did you do the audio? Aphelele? Aphelele, can you assist Dr. Mabaso with the audio?
Okay, let me check.
Colleagues, I don't know what's happening here. Aphelele, did you manage to assist?
I'm trying to assist from my
Okay, you're
side.
still,
Maybe,
okay,
Doctor, you can just sign out and join again with the audio. Join with the computer audio.
Dr. Mabaso,
So you'll see
can,
that button when you are joining again.
can you kindly join again, please, with the audio? Just go out and plug in again, Dr. Mabaso. We are sorry for this problem. Colleagues, please bear with us. Bear with us. I know that we said time is precious. Let's try to, because internet sometimes, computer for us, we might CP the bond before technology. It can really, really put you in a stressful situation. So let's wait for maybe let's give Dr. Mabaso 2 minutes to try to resolve the problem. Thank you, colleagues. Dr. Mabaso, ha utlwahale. Ek iets wil add. Oh, ash. Colleagues, Dr. Mabaso is still having a problem. I think we are going to go to our second presenter. And then while Dr. Mabaso is still fixing her story, Dr. Mabaso can be our last presenter for the day. Let's try to go to, because we can't hear Dr. Mabaso. I don't know why. This one is that's fine, TP. So let's give our second presenter. The second presenter will be Miss Nomonde. No, it's going to be Miss Dineo. Miss Dineo Mukununde from SABC. Dineo, are you there? Hello, Dineo.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We can hear you very well, Dineo. Go ahead. Dineo, let me introduce Dineo colleagues for you. Dineo, it's a public speaker and a senior records librarian at the South African Broadcasting Corporation, a role she held since 2022. She holds a degree in information studies from University of Limpopo and is currently advancing her studies with a postgraduate qualification at UNISA. With background in information management and a passion to clear, impactful communication, Dineo focuses on helping people access and make sense of knowledge. Outside of work, she is committed on fitness and believes in power of discipline in both mind and body. Ms. Mukunende focus on the theme embracing digital resources, linking it to their work at the South African Broadcasting Corporation. Ms. Mukunende, you can go ahead and tell us more about the SABC. What are you special librarians are doing there? The platform is yours. Thank you so much, Ms. Dineo.
Good afternoon. Can I just have a minute to display my presentation?
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
Ms. Mukunde, are you winning? Dineo, are you winning with your presentation?
Are you able to see my screen?
We can
see your
see
entire
yeah,
screen.
yes.
Yeah, just go to your presentation and click on presentation mode.
Presentation. I'm trying to locate my presentation mode. And I'm sharing my entire screen. Can you kindly help?
Okay, stop share now and then open your presentation first. Once it's open, you'll click on share, and from the applications window, you will select your presentation. There will be an entire screen on top, and then just below that, we'll see an option for application windows. You'll select your presentation. That's correct. Then you can start with the presentation mode.
Mm,
There's that icon on your top left hand side after the option to do. Then there's a small computer icon there. You can click there.
You said top right,
Your top left.
top left today. Yo, what's on this? Thank you.
You can no longer see your screen.
Minimize my mic. Oh, sorry, AI.
Marie, Dineo, are you willing? Because people are waiting here, and then you can't waste people's time. Please try to do something, or maybe you can talk without presenting, because people are waiting in the webinar.
Ah,
Dineo, maybe you can start presenting and send me your presentation. I will share from my side. You can quickly email me development, and while you are presenting, I will try to pull it up.
The last slide.
Okay, I think let's just start. I will forward it to you. and you just display, it will find me on the way. Is it okay?
Yes, that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, guys. My name is Dineo Mgununde. I am. Thank you so much for inviting me. Okay, let me just tap out and come back. Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Dineo, as I was saying. I work for the SABC in the region of Polokwane as a records librarian. I just want to give you a little bit of a tour on what we have in the libraries of SABC. I'm in Polokwane, but our libraries are similar across the nation, wherever that we have regions, we have wherever that we have SABC in the country. So basically what we have is we have three sections, which is the first one, it's the reference reference library. This is where we have books, magazines, the journals, and that section, it's only available for the employees of SABC. Then the second section, we have the music library, which is my section. And there we have different forms or formats of music. And then the third one, it is, okay, also the music, before I move, music is, we receive music from outside. The artist will send us their music. And some time back, we also had a part where people would record music in the SABC. So that music that was recorded in the SABC, it's the music that is in transcripts. That's the music that people who are not within the SABC would be able to have an access to. And then the rest of the music, we cannot give it to somebody who is outside because it is other music, other people's music. We wouldn't want to deprive them of their rights. Are we okay? All right. And then the third section is the archive. The archive, this is where we preserve and catalog the programs that are being played on the radio 24/7. And then we have the music that we will classify, and so that it's easier to access and also preserve. Over the years, we have preserved music, radio audios from since we have started with the radio. And this section, you can access it. Maybe let's say you are doing a research on politics and you want to use an audio, or you missed a program and you would want to listen to it again. This is where you will approach or send an email or contact to the specific archivist. We have an archivist for each and every language or each and every station, and those are the ones that will be able to give you access to those. Have you received my, can you confirm if you have received my presentation yet?
Not yet. I'm still waiting. I will share it as soon as I receive it.
Okay. Okay, it should be on the way. Okay, let me try to just walk you through my responsibilities while we are at it. As a records librarian in the SABC, my responsibilities will include the classifying and the shelving of the materials. So with our music, I'll focus on the music a little bit. With our music, we normally classify our music based on the genres. So sometimes when the artist is sending out the music, they will when they are sending out the music, they will specify, sometimes they will not specify that which genre is this. And then, so before I put the music on the shelves, I will listen to it and decide on the genre. And then Okay. The other thing is also organizing our music. We have a prefix of CD for CDs because the last manual thing that we did was CDs. We'll have a prefix if it's CD, if it's long plays, it would be maybe to start with LP, and then we'll put in the number of which we have received the CDs. For example, if this is a CD 391, we're going to write CD 391. And then I'm also responsible for the retention and the disposal. Having moving towards the digital, some of the materials that we have, like the LPs that we have in the form of LPs and mini disc and all those, they some of them we do not need to keep 5 of them, for example, because we don't use them regularly. So we will just maybe keep one copy for in case it is required and we don't have it in a digital form. So that also includes that I will digitize as well and preserve what needs to be preserved, as well as control access and retrieval. So for the access, the like I've mentioned, the music will not be accessed by people from outside, but our music will be accessed by the music compilers as well as the presenters. And when they come to borrow the music, if it's CDs, for example, they will have to come physically to the library. And some of our CDs on our shelves, it's just covers, just for protection. And then we have the CDs stored separately in the storeroom. Then my responsibilities include controlling access to that. The challenges that we have faced with our manual submissions was that it was not efficient, it was not time efficient. This is for the artist as well as the music compilers. The artist, they will have to travel. For example, if it's in Limpopo and you want to submit your music, and we are saying we're only taking music in the form of a CD, an artist will have to travel, for example, from Lephalale to come to Polokwane just so that they can come and drop off the CD. And this will be costly for them in terms of finances and also in terms of time. And the other challenge that and also before I pass that, with the music compilers as well, they will have to physically come to the library if they want to store a music. And imagine there's a show that is playing on radio and they want to play music. It's not possible to just come and run. Normally they would prepare the music that they're going to play before the show starts, but then if there's a store that they want to play in the middle, it's going to be a challenge. And also the damages like scratches and stuff. And as much as we try to be careful in how we store them, but human errors can also happen. And the other challenges with the storage, the the building that we have, or rather the storage that we have, will eventually run out if we have to physically be storing CDs in terms of space, and then also in terms of the shelves. If the shelves are full, it means we need to buy more. But if there's no enough room, then it's going to mean that there's need to be an expansion, and this is just costly and certainly not efficient. I can't say much in terms of advantages. Personally, I did not find much advantages with that. It worked in those times, but an artist will feel that this will give them a quick response. That, if you go to a place physically, let me go to SABC physically and show them my music, then they will be able to physically, quickly respond from the spot. If, for example, there's an error in terms of the information that has been displayed on the CD, like we would want to see a visible artist on the CD, your recording label, your commercial numbers, and all of that. So when an artist is here physically, you can say, this is where you have made a mistake. Although this still means they will have to travel back and try to fix that. Have you received my slide yet?
Yes, I'm sharing my screen. I'm not sure if you can see it or everyone can see my screen.
Okay, let me go
Yeah.
back because I was not there. Was
Yes.
sharing from my
We
side.
are seeing it, Aphelele. Thank you so much.
Okay. Before you were on online submission, can you please go back? We were still on the manual submission. Yes, this is, oh, okay. This is where I was. You can move on to the next one with shelf so I can show you guys how our shelves look like. Thank you. This is what currently our shelves look like. This is where the part that I have captured has CDs, and there at the back we have other formats like your LPs and stuff. If you can move to the next slide, please. Thank you. This is just an example of the type of the forms that we have of music. We have your LPs, the cassettes, the mini disc, and everything. And eventually, those things, some of them would break. And with this reel to reel machine, you find that the tape just ran over and it's hard to fix, but we still try and preserve them. And some of these things, they still have information on them. And upon request, whether it's in a form of music or a radio program, we have equipments in our archive within the library wherein we are able to play this thing and then digitize it so that it is able to, you can receive your program or your music without hassle. You can move to the next one. Thank you. So we have recently migrated to the online system. This is about 2 years ago, and so we're still fairly new within the system. But so far, this is what I would say is an advantage with it. It is time efficient in a sense that a music compiler or an artist will not have, as well as an artist, yes, music compilers and presenters will not necessarily have to come to the library physically so that they can be able to access our library. And it is easy to access. They will access wherever they are, and it saves the money for the user as well as for us as a library. We don't need to expand the SABC building and or to buy the shelves or the covers that we use to store the CDs. So it saves us money. And as much as we will spend some money to get more space on the server with the online submission system, it's still not as it used to be. With the money will still be less. The disadvantages of it is that some of our artists, they are not computer literate. They don't have access to computers or to the internet as well. In as much as you could do it at home, but if you do not have um, a readily available internet, this might be a challenge. If you may move to the next slide so that I can show you what the online system looks like. What is displayed on the screen? It's a submit music page. This is the online system, and this page that is displayed, this is accessed to the artist. This is where they're going to put in their information. So without having to directly come to the library, wherein I will have to tell you if you have made mistakes on this or not, you are able to know this is what is required from me. I need to have my ISRC number. I need to put my artist number. I need to put who has produced this music. So it saves so much for the artist. And the next bit below the music submission there's a one that says manage submissions. This one, it is accessed, yes, thank you. It is accessed by the librarians. It's controlled. The artist will not be able to enter that part. And then when a librarian gets to that part, you're able to see that music that they have uploaded there. And then you can listen to the music and decide if this is radio worthy in terms of the length, the language, and the quality of it as well. And if for whatever reason the librarian find that there's something that does not meet the criteria for the radio, then you are able to immediately send reject it and then send an email to let them know that we cannot play this on radio because it has a language which is not acceptable for the radio. Or if you have also accepted, we will also get a notification to say that we have accepted your music. And the next one, maybe 1, 2, there's one part that says music library. This is where the compilers, wherever they are able to then now open this part and view all the songs that we have in there. This one, it's even more efficient because with the manual submission, if you have submitted your CD, it is available only for the region, right? Somebody in a different region can request and we digitize it and send it to them, but it is not as quick as when you would have to go and do it yourself, because then that would mean I will have to stop what I'm doing if I'm able to, you see. But this one, even if it's live on radio, you're able to just open here and look for the song that you are looking for and then be able to upload as an artist. Maybe we can move. Okay. Before we get to the last one, I just wanted to share as well what I have learned personally as a librarian at SABC with regards to embracing the digital as the new norm within the library. It has also, because most of the time, the libraries, it's very generally as people, but even in the libraries, it is not easy to migrate for what you have known for a very long time, which is the manual way of doing things. This is something that some of our librarians have been comfortable with doing over the years. And even myself, when I started as a librarian at SABC, this is what I have started with. But the migration towards the digital now has also given me the confidence in trying out new things, and it has also improved my computer skills as well, and also my interaction with people. I can go to the last one now, and thank you so much for giving me your time and your ears. If you have any questions, I'll be here to answer.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Mukunende. Yes, we have
Mukunende.
Mukunende. Yes, Mukunende. So,
Hi, I'll give you grace. But yeah, Mukununde. Thank you.
Mukunende. Thank you
There
for
you go.
that,
Thank you.
Dineo. Thank you for that. Colleagues, yes, we have heard that Ms. Mukunende has shown us her library at the SABC. It's a very interesting one. And then we have heard that the lesson to learn from her is that we need to be confident in embracing the digital resources. Gone are those days where we have to be running away and saying that, no, we can't do this. Maritzip have been doing this this way. Now we are embracing digitization. So without wasting any time, because we on our agenda we said that the speaker will present, and then after presenting there will be discussions and questions and answers. So Ms. Kali Matapola, it's our interim committee member also. She's also from SABC. Kali will take over with the discussions and questions. Thank you so much, Kali. Go ahead.
Good day, colleagues. Thank you, Osma Ditsipi. Well presentation from Mrs. Mukununde. Thank you so much for that. That was very interesting presentation from you, and we appreciate the information you shared with us. As the floor is open for any questions, any compliment, anything that maybe you want to share, maybe you can, maybe you learn from Dineo, or you can even tell Dineo how you can relate with her work or SABC. So anything, the floor is open. Any question? If you have anything, you can write on the chat. If you have a problem with your microphone, you can write on the chat, or you can raise up your hand, then we can take it from there. Thank you so much. Let me go through the chats if ever there's anything. Okay, we have a compliment from Elizabeth Mutlongwa. She's saying, thank you very much. It was interesting, Dineo. Claps for that, Dineo. Thank you so much. And we have also from Busisi Webutelezi. Thank you so much, Sis Dineo. Thank you so much, Dineo. Any question, any discussions, also open for questions or discussion. You can share your idea from that presentation. Thank you so much. If ever there's a hand that I cannot see, Osma Ditsip, you can assist you on that one. Thank you so much. It seems like there's no hand from my
There are
side. I cannot
two
see
hands
anything.
from Musho and Sibia. Maybe we can
There's
start
a
with Musho and then Sibia.
okay.
Good afternoon, colleagues. I don't know if I can just go ahead. My name is Musho Ntlema from the Department of Human Settlements, National Department of Human Settlements. Just want to thank you for that insightful presentation from Ms. Mukunde. The question is quite straightforward. I just want to know the system that they are using for repository of the music, and whether it's a subscription, how did they go about acquiring the system? Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for the question. No, the SAPC, I think the SAPC has bought it. It is, yeah, it is not a subscription. We have bought it. Hope that answers. Through Forum Director, the name of the system, if you do have it, just interested in that. Thank you. It is a record media library management system. Thank you.
There's another hand from Musima, Miss Kali.
There was a hand before Osmusima. You said
It's
who was the hand?
Sibia.
Yeah,
Q
yeah,
Sibia.
yeah.
Oh, it's Q. Thank you so much. Good morning. Sorry, good afternoon, colleagues. And my name is Qiniso Sibia, and from Big Group, which is an engineering company. So I'm one of the managers there in the special library. So thank you so much to the speaker for giving us a very insightful presentation in terms of SAPC library, of which some of us we we had once liked to work for SAPC, but we didn't understand on the process on what are they managing, because we know it radio station, so it was very, very insightful. But what I wanted to ask, maybe just a quick one, is that you mentioned something about the language, where you have said when someone is uploading the music on the system, so if the language is not a proper language, so the system will reject that music that is being uploaded. So I wanted to ask, who is responsible for understanding the language, the entire language that is being used on the music? Is it the librarian, or the system can be able to pick it up on itself, or there is any AI capability within the system that can be able to read the language and match it with the standard that is required within your organization? Thank you for that.
Thank you for your question, Q. It's not the system, it's the librarian. When you receive music, you're going to listen to it as a librarian from the beginning to the end. And in between, you'll be listening to, by the language, I meant like vulgar words. That is what you will be paying attention to. And if by chance you pick up a language that the vulgar words, for example, they're not appropriate for the radio, then that's the music that you're going to reject. Thank you.
Maybe just a follow-up question to that, because I've heard that it could be a discussion session. So tell me, how many music would you maybe do you guys receive maybe per day, and just average, and then how long, how like do you have capacity to listen to all the music, to all the weight? Do you you don't even have a lyric, maybe you don't receive any lyrics to read and see if there is any inappropriate language that has been used to a song, or you just have to listen all the musics, and does that not create a backlog? And is there any development that you are working on to enhance the system, or maybe to cut off that process, maybe like introducing an AI capability that can be able to read by itself, and then the final decision would be made by a librarian? Yes, thank you.
Okay. So the backlog is a possibility, but not very much common since we've just started recently. But also the music that we receive, it's not only sent to Dineo. So on the portal, the music goes to the very same part that I have shown to you. It is accessed by all the librarians in all the regions. So I'm not working alone. Every region has at least one librarian who will listen to that. And the part where you have mentioned about the AI reading, possibly that would be, something to look at. Yeah, but for now, we have to listen to the entire audio. Yes. And also in terms of the number that we receive, it's really not common for every day, but possibly plus or minus 100. And I think so far we are doing okay. I don't think we have a backlog so far. Thank you, Q.
Can I go, Kali?
My hand is up.
Colleagues, you must remember that
okay,
you have given you
we-
5 minutes for the questions. Please, I know that at the end of the presentation, we'll all have some burning questions and address to that, because we need to leave at 1:30. Please, colleagues.
Okay, can we just take the last two who raised their hands? Osmusima?
Thanks, I'll be
ahead.
quick. I'll be
Okay,
quick. Thank you, Dineo, for the presentation. My question is around your end users. You have mentioned that some of them are not maybe computer literate. Do you have any programs that you have in place maybe to capacitate them so that they can be able to receive the service? Thank you.
Excuse me. Not at the moment, but yeah, that is also something that I was discussing with my manager, that maybe we can look into maybe having like a tutorial videos, so that those who are still struggling can able to see how to navigate it. But at the moment, we don't have anything yet.
thank you so much. Are you answered, Osmusima?
Yes, I'm good. We can proceed. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. Since we are running out of time now, can we just continue with the next speaker? Then we'll take other questions after, if ever there's anything when you have time, and we'll also read the other chats when you have time after that. Thank you so much, Osman. If you can continue.
Okay, colleagues, once again, thank you so much, Dineo. And then now I'm not going to introduce Dr. Mabaso, because I've already introduced Dr. Mabaso. Dr. Mabaso, you are welcome to share your presentation with us. Thank you so much for resolving the problem. Go ahead.
Can you please confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Perfectly.
Perfectly. Okay. Apologies about whatever happened earlier on. Once again, thank you so much for the invitation. Madisipi will know I was not meant to do this presentation. It was meant to be presented by my colleague who unfortunately is not available. So I'm just stepping into somebody's big shoes. So be very kind with me. I might not represent him well, but I hope I will do justice to the presentation. Colleagues, I will provide, if we can go to the next slide. My presentation will be I'll try to be as short as possible. I would have loved to take it easy, but given the time, I will move as fast as possible with the hope that I'm not going to I'll miss some of the important part of the presentation. The title of the presentation is Lessons Learned in Practice, Diagnosing and Strengthening Library Services at ATNS through Knowledge Management. And a brief background about who is the ATNS. ATNS is in full, it's Air Traffic and Navigation Services. We are a state-owned company and also mandated by the Air Traffic Navigation Services Company Act of 45. We report to the Minister of Transport, and we are responsible for all the airports in South Africa. That is both including the regional airports and the St. Helena Airport. And we're responsible for your safe. I mean, most of us, I'm sure, here with one way or the other being in a flight. So when you are flying, you must know that as much as you are so confident that the pilot is taking care of you, the truth of the matter is the air traffic controller is the one who's taking care of you. And this is where we are and what we are responsible for with regards to ATNS. The next slide. Just briefly, is our responsibility is to make sure that when the flight is ready to on board and just about to take off, the air traffic controller then takes over until such time you get to the other end of the of your destination. So as you are flying on the skies, the air traffic controllers are taking care of you. So it's quite a technical environment. I'm not going to get into details of that, but just high level in a layman's language, this is what we do at ATNS, making sure that the skies are safe, making sure that anyone who is flying within the skies that we are responsible for in South Africa, there are no injuries, there are no issues with regards to accidents and so on. So efficiency, safety, and reliability, it is one of the most important values that we subscribe to. The next slide. So the department that we are responsible for is we fall under what is called the Business Services Department. And we've got 3 areas within Information and Knowledge Management, and that is where I reside, and I'm responsible for knowledge management, records management, and the digital library, where we're going to zoom into. I'm not going to say much about KM and RM, just because of the of today's presentation. I'll be focusing and zooming into our digital library as a special library within ATNS. The next slide. Our library services, and I'm also not going to get into details about what we do in terms of the services, because I'm sure as special libraries, or librarians here, we know of the basic services that we provide. I think the focus of the presentation today is about talking about our diagnostic approach that we conducted in terms of evaluating and reviewing our services. These are the services that we provide. We don't have a physical library, not at all. We are purely digital. All our services are available online from the we've got apps. Some of them are even available on our phones. Our librarians are full-time online, available to provide any services, so we can access our newspapers, our journals, our catalog. Everything is online, so we don't even have we mostly work from home, because our library is digital, fully digital, virtual, nothing physical, except that if we have to go to the office for other things. Next slide. So these are the common services that you all know. Colleagues, my focus is to talk about us as ATNS and the digital or the library using a lessons learned as a KM tool in terms of understanding our services, in terms of diagnosing our services to the business. Briefly, what is a lessons learned? It's a knowledge management tool. And I think by virtue of being in a department whereby we are responsible for knowledge management, responsible for records management, and most, again, providing the library services, we took a tool that is common to us in terms of analyzing, assessing, and also looking into our services to check if are we still providing services that the organization is actually looking, are we meeting the organizational objectives? And as said earlier on by Maditsipi, that as the librarians, especially special librarians, we've got a serious intent, a challenge in terms of always and all the time having to validate why our services are needed. Because when there's a cost cutting and so on, we are the first targets there whereby we are being seen to say we possibly are not needed. So we need to keep on refreshing our services. We need to validate. We need to bring that value proposition of the services that we provide. So we use a lessons learned KM tool to assess that and to also bring that value proposition up to a level of ensuring that the business understand the importance of library services within ATNS. So for us, it's just looking into ensuring that knowledge is retained through library services. There is continuous improvement in this organizational learning. Yes, I'm going just briefly to say a lessons learned a tool is basically a KM tool that assists in terms of identifying, capturing, analyzing, and also documenting knowledge that is gained within that particular environment. And in this case, it was within the library services to say, what is it that we are looking into to ensure that we still meet the organizational objectives? And basically, it was more about preserving that knowledge through interacting with our users, capturing that operational and technical knowledge or expertise that our users need for us to be able to provide the services that they need, and especially the information resources, and also ensuring that we continue to strengthen organizational learning, because as ATNS, we believe we are in a learning organization. There's a lot of learning that is happening, and we continue to have to support that through our information services. So we also talk about innovation as an organization, because we are a very innovative organization, very evolving. It evolves so fast. So we actually have to be in the cutting edge of ensuring that there's that innovation, and we provide information services that will also lead the organization to remain moving and evolving. So for us, that's the reason why we use a knowledge management tool in our diagnostic process. The next slide. We then just briefly. There is a traditional way of evaluating a service and so on. It will be focusing on that, the transitional evaluations. Most of the time we use a SWOT analysis, PESTEL, you name them. But we decided to use a lessons learned approach, which is more, it gives you that learning focus, which it assisted in terms of capturing successes and challenges. It encourages the reflection, because as we interviewed individuals, as we were going through, it gave us an opportunity to collaborate, to actually understand the needs of our users, and also to give us that understanding that how do we actually support that continuous improvement in the organization and also learning. And we've managed to capture both the explicit and the tacit knowledge. For those who, I'm sure we all know what is tacit and explicit, but just briefly to say, we were able to capture the tacit knowledge, that is knowledge that someone is sitting with and it's not written anywhere. And the explicit one is the one, explicit knowledge is the one that is written and it can be read, and it can also be used for any other purpose. So we use this lessons learned approach in terms of knowing that it will be sort of a deep stick that will give us both the tacit side of it and also the explicit side of it. The next slide. We then, the reason we conducted, just to add on what I've just said, it was more about assessing the relevancy and the impact of our library services, also to ensure that our digital information resources are still relevant to what we are giving our users, because users they cut it across. We provide services to every individual in the organization. As soon as you join ATNS, you are a member of the library. Automatically, you become a member of the library. And we go to you in terms of providing induction, and we are also then be able to utilize. It's a very professional environment. So as we know, all professions are evolving. So we needed to understand each and every profession within the organization and ensure that our information resources meet any need. So we also ensuring to show that we become evidence-based in terms of service improvement, in terms of saying our users say they need this. That's why it was quite easy for us to migrate from a physical library to a digital library, because it was based on our users' needs. It was not a call of COVID. I know most of us moved into a digital library because of COVID. We were already in the digital space. COVID came for us, it was a seamless approach because we were already, and because we knew our users' needs. We knew the organizational strategy. As an organization, we've got what we call a digital strategy. So we supported the strategy based on moving into a digital library. And hence, we are still sustained, and we are still sustaining the services that we are providing. So we are supporting research. ATNS, it's a very technical environment. Technical from the operations up to the strategic environment. So we continue to provide information and also the research that we provide to our users. So the next slide up here. So what we are also responsible for with regards to the services that we provide is to ensure that one thing that I forgot to mention is we've got an academy whereby we've got our own. It's a pipeline. When you join ATNS, before you become a traffic controller, the only place that you can learn to become an air traffic controller, you have to go through our academy. So we provide information resources from that point, whereby we needed to understand our academy needs. What is it that they need in terms of information services, and then that does. So the methodology we used in terms of the approach. As I said, it was a lessons learned approach whereby we literally had workshops, interviews, we engage with stakeholders from executive, from the CEO point of view to the very last person, whereby we actually wanted to understand their needs and asking a number of questions. We do have a questionnaire we can share with you at a later stage. For the purpose of this presentation, I did not include those questions. And then we also had a very good benchmarking. We did a very, very detailed benchmarking. We visited some libraries. We interacted with some of the overseas libraries where they have already moved into the digital space. We took time to make sure that we understand what is needed. We obviously use statistics in terms of usage. When we started engaging, especially with service providers, it was based on, say, our users, these are the kind of resources they need, and evidence-based from the point of statistics, and also evidence-based in terms of the reviews, because we also requested reviews in terms of the resources that we had, and obviously based on that information, we were able to make some decisions and also to know where we are in terms of that. The findings, mainly, we categorize them into three themes. Strengths, we realize that there's an increase in terms of usage of our digital resources. Accessibility of online information, that was the primary excitement from our side, to see people that when we looked at the reports in terms of how they find it very easy to access, because they could access that information at any time, be it a weekend, be it at night. We are sort of a 24/7 business. Even the library services are 24/7. Support for research, that's very primary for us, because we've got a research unit that really needs a lot of information, and we contribute to the learning culture. That's, as I said, that ATNS is the link, but the fact that we've got an academy, so you can imagine. Challenges, obviously, one of the challenges is continuing, and I think that is impacted by capacity. We don't have a very big team. I'm sure you're thinking that we've got about 10. Believe it or not, only 2 librarians, 3 with me as the head. So we've got a very serious issue, and that also impact in terms of creating this continuous and sustainable analysis or awareness. Change management, Another one, we really try, but yeah, I think the resource limitations, yes, to a large extent, we are restricted by budget. We always have to write long memos motivating for our budget. And obviously, at some point, there's a challenge around information overload where you have now to stream. We're relying very much in terms of our reference librarian, in terms of ensuring that we provide information as targeted as needed. Another lesson, one of them, the lessons learned, is the importance of stakeholder engagement. For us, is that it's crucially important. We don't go out without engaging with our stakeholders, both internal and external. We always do, need to do that kind of continuous communication, engaged informing our users of our services and also hearing what they need. Strategic alignment, our strategy on every 5 years, it's reviewed. We sit. We are called, we are expected to be part of the strategy review, and that strategy review meaning that the expectation is from the library to support and ensure that as an organization we achieve the strategy. So even our collection, it's in line. When we review our collection, we look at what is the strategy of the organization. Do we have the resources to support the organization? There's a value of partnership and technology. We rely on partnership and also making sure that we are at the cutting edge of our technology in terms of our systems, in terms of all what we are providing. There is still an organizational impact in terms of improved access, in terms of enhancing decision making. Most of our executives, including the heads of departments, they rely on us in terms of information provision and in terms of giving, when they have to make decisions. Contributed a lot in terms of innovation. We work very closely with our RDI department, and also we strengthen that knowledge because, again, by the fact that we are also responsible for knowledge management, so there's a strong link between the LIS and also the KM department and also the RM. So we work as a close knit in terms of making sure the information enterprise-wide is provided from the RM point of view, from the LIS point of view, and from the KM point of view. So we contribute a lot towards the learning culture, supporting that operational and technical efficiency. The last slide, I think I'm moving towards the last slide. So the evolving role of the librarian colleagues, I cannot emphasize that. As librarians, our role is not stagnant. I sometimes find it very difficult when a librarian saying the job is boring. It really doesn't go well with me because I just believe that we've got such an exciting profession, especially as special librarians, because our roles are evolving. They're quite exciting. So as librarians, it is very important that we we sustain the library services as a knowledge hub. We are in the cutting edge and understanding of where technology is moving, which I'm quite sure that all of us, we keep abreast, and also embedding the librarian our librarianship principles. We are very strong and very big in terms of data analytics and business intelligence from ATN's point of view. Our reports are based on our statistics and also based on how we actually analyze the statistics to inform the business in terms of how we're doing and how we are also impacting and making sure that we enable them. So we're supporting the organizational resilience in terms of our information provision and also in terms of ensuring that accessibility and equitability of access, it stands at a very high level. So for us, knowledge preservation and institutional memory, it's quite important. As I say, we work as a close knit between KM, between library, and between records management. And there's a lot of continuous learning. We learn all the time. As a team, we are very proactive in terms of empowering ourselves. So colleagues, for me, to you, it's a motivation to, so let's do it. Recommendations and the future outlook. As I say, learning. I call myself a lifelong learner. I don't stop learning. Always get excited to know of the new things. So let us do that. And there's a lot that is happening in the special library environment. So let's take advantage of that. And then also strengthening knowledge sharing culture. We believe in, we are very strong in benchmarking, in knowledge sharing as sessions amongst ourselves and also reaching out to others. AI and intelligent information services, we're getting into that space. We are learning a lot about it, and we want also to bring it to the fore and start implementing the possible tools that we are still working towards. So collaborating with partnership, anyone who wants to partner with that. A classical example, we are currently partnering with the UNISA, University of South Africa, the Department of Information Science, so that we can bridge that, because we know there's always a kind of an imbalance between academic and the practice. So partnership for us, we are even getting into a space of writing articles in terms of all the work that we do, assisted with that academic background that the Department of Information Science is bringing to us. We are bringing the practice side of it. So skills development and digital competencies, I cannot emphasize that more than I have already said. And for us, it's about institutional memory preservation, that there is no knowledge that should walk out of the organization through library services, through records management, and also knowledge management being in the forefront of preserving and including. In closing, colleagues, lessons learned is not merely a reflection exercise, as many say. In my view, it is a strategic organizational intelligence tool that enables libraries to evolve, remain relevant, and create measurable value within knowledge-driven organizations. All of us, as we are here, we are in knowledge-driven organizations. Let us also look into ensuring that we remain as a hub, as a knowledge hub within the organization. We should be everyone in the organization should depend on us. They should know that we are there to provide information. Within ATNS, librarianship extends beyond traditional information provision. For us, it's more about strategically enabling knowledge continuity, operational excellency, innovation, and organizationalism within a specialized aviation environment. We are very specialized. However, we are making sure that we are intentional in remaining strategic, and that is all because we ensure that we provide information, library services that are aligned with the organizational objective. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Wow, wow, wow. I wish, let's clap. I can clap for this, colleagues. Yeah, this is very, very interesting, Dr. Mabaso. We really appreciate you being here with us. We have learned a lot from your organization, TNS. And me, I'm on my takeaway, I'm always saying that, Dr. Mabaso, most of us here, we were interested in your diagnostic approach. And soon we will be making appointment to benchmark with ATNS. The most important takeaway is strategic alignment with organization objectives and value for partnership and benchmarking, including collaboration, because I also like collaboration with other institutions. It is going to help us colleagues. And Dr. Mabas, you have talked about lifelong learning. Let's not say that I am now leaving the NSG. I'm a retired person now. Soon I'll be leaving. So I must continue learning, colleagues. I'm so proud of ATNS. Now I'm going to talk with my line manager. Soon we'll be coming to visit your library. Let me not take Kali's platform, but colleagues, can I suggest that if we can give our last speaker time so that when Kali comes with the questions and answers and recommendations, then we know that all the speakers are done talking, because there's another webinar coming in at 2:00. So we mustn't put Apelele in the pressure. Please, colleagues, let's give another our third speaker chance, and then the questions we'll do it after the speaker has just presented her topic. Thank you, colleagues. I hope you understand. I'm going to call now Miss Nomonde Magubela. Miss Nomonde Magubela is a senior manager, library and information service at the South African Library for the Blind. She's a leader in the South African library and information sector, offering over 3 decades of experience in the evolution of academic library services. With a career defined by strategic leadership and technical foresight, she has held senior roles at prestigious institutions, including UNISA, Stellenbosch University, Cape Peninsula University of Technology, University of KwaZulu-Natal, and the Central University of Technology. Nomonde specializes in driving digital transformation, moving library divisions beyond traditional repositories to become a dynamic engines for scholarly impact. Her expertise lies at the complex intersection of information and knowledge management, collection management, open access advocacy, and information center management throughout her career, serving as a director of Technical Services and E-Resource Management, Deputy Director, Collection Development, and Deputy University Librarian. She has successfully steered multiple disciplinary teams through the shifts of the fourth industrial revolution. Ms. Magubela topic is embracing digital resources at the South African Library for the Blind as a new normal. Ms. Nomonde Magubela, you are welcome to come and share what are you doing at the South African Library for the Blind. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sipi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nomonde Magubela. It is a privilege for me to lead the South African Library for the Blind through what we call the digital renaissance. Today, we are going to explore how we are shifting from traditional distribution to a cloud-based ecosystem, making digital resources our new normal. Is my presentation showing on that side?
No, you stopped sharing. You can maybe share them.
Apelele is busy helping you. Soon it will be here, Miss Magubela.
Am I sharing now?
Yes,
Yes,
Apelele
you
is.
can put it on presentation mode, maybe.
Oh, let me see. How do I do that now? Let me remove this. How do I put it in the presentation format? Apelele, could you please assist me?
Okay, on your top left, there's option to print, undo, do, and then the other option is the presentation mode. On your top left,
Top left.
yes, there's option to or the autosave is on, then there's print, there's do, there's undo, and then there's presentation mode.
Oh,
Yes,
this one here.
yes.
Is it showing now nicely? Is it on
Yes,
presentation mode? Okay.
yes.
I'm also going to try and be brief. I'm just a bit shaken after Dr. Mabaso's presentation and Miss Dineo. This is my outline of what I wanted to share with you. As much as I'm going to be talking over the embracing digital collections at the South African Library for the Blind, I thought in my introduction I should include the inclusiveness part. We all know that libraries remain gateways to knowledge, information, and lifelong learning. In the digital era, libraries must ensure no one is left behind. That's where inclusivity comes in, and that's what defines us as SAL. I'm not going to dwell much on the opportunities. I highlighted the opportunities from the opportunities of a general library environment, whichever library, whether it is a public library or whether it is a specialized library. Okay, when we talk about inclusive libraries in South Africa, we know that they serve a vital role in the community hubs, bridging digital literacy and social divides through free technology access, multilingual resources, and specialized services for people with disabilities. One of the winning initiatives in South Africa was the South African Library for the Blind. Okay, the background is the South African Library for the Blind is an agency of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, mandated by the South African Library for the Blind Act of 91 of 1998. We are mandated to provide an enabling, equitable, and open access library and information services to the blind, visually impaired, and print disabled. We produce quality braille, tactile, and audio formats of reading materials in all 11 official languages for visually impaired, print disabled, and blind members of the library. We also acquire and disseminate technologies that assist the blind and assist the blind, which are our members, to be able to read the items and the material that we borrow them. The library serves as a specific and particular constituency in social and is socially committed to strive, because our community that we are serving, our constituency that we are serving is specialized. So we cooperate with core role players on international, national, and local levels, which are sometimes our sister organizations, NGOs, and all the other organizations that are assisting and empowering the disabled persons in South Africa. We provide equitable quality service to meet as fully as practically the information needs of South Africans who are blind, visually impaired, and print handicapped. The reason why we have differentiated it on this slide is so that you can understand that despite the library being a library for the blind, we've got those that are print handicapped that cannot hold the book and that cannot read a print book. So those individuals, they form part of our members. And then we've got those that are visually impaired, not completely blind. They also form part of our members. Okay, in terms of our mission, SALP has a legacy. It dates back from 1918. It was started by Josie Wood, a nurse in Grahamstown. Its heart is in Makhanda. Our reach, though it's in Makhanda, our reach is national. We are not just a library, we are also a production house. We produce braille, audio, and tactile, ensuring that South African heritage is accessible to all. That's where inclusivity takes place. Our mission remains to provide a free service that removes every barrier to information. I won't speak over the vision of our library, but we strive to be the blind leading, one of the libraries for the blind leading Africa in the provision of transformative and inclusive library and information services, reminding that we are the only library for the blind in the country with this specialized service. Okay, in terms of the SALP landscape, I would like you to experience the institutional operational context so that you can understand where I'm coming from with embracing the digital resources. I've got someone who's going to assist me to just upload what I wanted to share with you quickly. I'm not going to waste your time, but it will make sense for me to continue with the next slides, the next two slides. This is Abegus. Can I just pause for a second so that I can upload?
Go ahead, Ma'am Nomonde.
organization serving the library and information needs of blind and print handicapped people in South Africa. With a full-time staff of 49 and 7,047 members, the library delivers on its mandate.
Can you?
We can hear, but you can't see the video, but you can hear someone speaking.
You can see the video.
Yeah, the video is not, but someone in the video is talking.
Can you please press the escape button, the ESC first?
The
Then you can
ESC?
print. Yes.
Okay. Is that okay?
I
Okay.
I cannot see. Go to your presentation and press.
Can you see?
We can
Can
see
s-
your presentation.
Oh, but you can't see the.
The video is.
Okay. Maybe in the interest of time, let me just continue with the presentation. Okay, I just wanted to show you so that you can understand the transition, where we're coming from and where we are heading to. In terms of defining the new normal for us itself, it is not just about ebooks and digital resources. It is about a cloud-first strategy, a hybrid model that respects Braille while pushing for high-tech streaming and a commitment to universal design, where services are built to be accessible from day one. We want to respect Braille and also we want to preserve Braille, but you also want to take the opportunity with the other technical development that have come into play.
Your slide is not moving.
Oh. Oh. Where am I? Okay. Can you see the slide now? Is it moving now? Oh.
You were on slide number 9, but put it on the presentation mode.
Oh, presentation. Oh my goodness. Is it moving now?
Yes, the slides are moving, but it's not on the presentation mode.
Okay. Then I need to close this. Is it on the presentation mode now?
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Continue, Menomande. Continue even if it's not on the slide presentation mode. Go to slide number 9. Yeah. Great. Well, I won't forget spam. I don't get spam.
Yes, we can see your screen now is on the presentation mode. Breaking the print.
To hear more
below.
about clientele. Miss Magubela, are you still there? We can hear you.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, okay,
Oh
yes.
my, I've been talking. In terms of breaking the barrier, at SARP, we produce annually over 600 audiobooks, over 500 Braille book titles, and over 30 tactile book titles. Tactile books are the books that are normally used for those people that are starting to learn Braille. They are picture books. You can touch them and feel them. If it's a tree, you can feel that tree, that it's a tree. If it's talking about oranges, it will show, you will feel that it's talking about oranges, and then it will have a Braille transcript on the bottom of that title. In terms of services that we provide library services that are free. We produce materials in 11 languages. We provide each member with an assistive device as per their preference. We also have outreach programs. We go out there, we meet our constituencies, we get involved and collaborate with other organizations and other members of the society and the community, even businesses around here and provinces and also municipalities. We've got over 300 mini libraries in partnership with the Provincial Library Services across all 9 provinces. We have collections that are over 24,000 titles. We are soon going to be converting a legal deposit material into accessible digital formats as mandated by the Legal Deposit Act. These are the assistive devices that we provide. The first one is the Daisy Victor Reader. This one, it allows the reader on the other side to be able to read a book. The book is downloaded into a CD, and then the CD is used in this device, and the constituents or the member will be able to rewind, move forward, skip, and also choose a different book on the device. They can also use their USBs to access information on these devices. The one that is called the Envoy Connect, the blue one, this one is also powered by the solar. So when there is no electricity, the member will be able to access books that have been downloaded into this Envoy. It's a small gadget that is equal to a phone, and also it uses earphones and has a speaker. So if there's no electricity in the rural areas, people will be able to still read their books. They can download the books through our website. We can also download the books for them. They can send back the invoice, and then we upload the books and then send them the books back to them so that they are able to read. The mini libraries that you see there, this is a mini library. In our mini libraries that are housed within the provincial libraries, we have resources such as the document reader where that lady is standing. That is a document reader, and that is a specialized computer where the gentleman is sitting. We also have facilities like the Braille embosser, which is a printing machine for the Braille, for those people that want to print into Braille. We also offer the internet services that are free, that are accessed through these provincial libraries. We are trying to reach as far as possible the people that are living in the rural areas. So most of our mini libraries, they are in the rural areas. We are also now have started to decentralize the support in terms of making sure that we spreading across the provinces. We are taking our studios to the 9 provinces where we are going to be narrating indigenous language books to expand our indigenous collection. So all the studios that are housed, if it's in Limpopo, the books that are going to be narrated there, they are going to be the languages that are spoken in Limpopo, and they will be narrated and converted into accessible formats by the library. We have already spread. I think we've got 6 already, and we are short of 5. In terms of embracing technology as well and digital platforms, our catalog is an online catalog online OPEC catalog. It's got a voice facility on it, so our members they can listen to what they want to search for, and they can download from the catalog. So this one is also one of the innovations that are making it more accessible to the information that we are housing here. This transition to move from print newspapers to magazines, we have Press Reader. Press Reader has got about 7,000. Maybe most of you knows that. We also have Press Reader. It's got newspapers and magazines that are over 7,000. And our members, which are the blind, the visual impaired, and the print handicapped members, they can access those materials from here. We no longer buy the print copy. That is how we have digitally transformed. We also have Overdrive. Overdrive, where members can browse, they can download, they can stream audiobooks. We subscribe to it. They can loan material from there, from literature to scholarly material online without coming to the library. If they can't, they can phone and they can take them through how they can access these materials through our website. Even though we are trying to transition, we've had some legal bottlenecks in the past. We've had some challenges. We had to overcome the legal bottleneck first. We all know about copyright and the licensing, which restrictions meant that we have to only convert 10% of published South African books. We managed through the legislative efforts, including the Copyright Amendment Bill and the WIPO collaborations that allow now SALP to bypass the permissions for accessible formats, unlocking rapid digital conversions. We also navigating operational hurdles in terms of infrastructure, with areas where we have load shedding, with areas where there's disruption in terms of power infrastructure. We are looking into mobile applications that can be accessed outside and offline. We are also trying to get a reading material that has capability of downloading and downloading items that can be read outside the internet or outside the environment where it requires the data to be used. So these Victor Readers and Envoy Connects, they are really helpful. That is how we mitigated the load shedding and disruption in power. Then the high cost of mobile data, we all know that. The pricing is terrible, and especially for people that are our members that are in the rural areas. That was the reason why we tried to resolve by making sure that we've got mini libraries across the country. They've across all the 9 provinces. There are different mini libraries in the rural areas. We provide transport to our members to go and access these resources in those libraries that are manned by the municipalities and public library staff. We also, due to the scarce skills concerning the Braille transcription, we are the leading institutions in terms of Braille training. We are trying now to look for a South African or a local AI-driven opportunity that will assist us in making sure that we try and move this Braille transcription skills into the online environment. We have realized that the postal system is being phased out. We are transitioning members mostly into CDs and all these digital downloads that require support require user support and tailored device use tutorials. Okay, the lessons that we learned especially on the languages. In South Africa, we have a diverse language spectrum, and so English dominates. So our catalogs are in English, and that one is a negative, a bit of a negative on us. that lesson we learned that we need to convert into all the 11 official languages so that the people that we are servicing can be able to access the information and be empowered just like the people that can read English well and Afrikaans. We also have a challenge of indigenous languages. Because of that challenge, I already spoken about the narration studios that we are decentralizing to the provinces, and we are also developing technical expertise in narrating minority and regional African languages. We are also we are encouraging employment of the young to come and narrate in their own languages, books that have been written in their own languages and authored in their areas of abode. We also have a Braille training course that we learned that it will be beneficial for us if you can formalize it and have it accredited. The other challenge of a lesson that we learned, our assistive devices, we only get them internationally. They are manufactured internationally. So you can imagine the level of English that the instruction comes out with. In the devices that we provide for our members, who most of them have challenges of literacy, have challenges of understanding English, we still have a challenge in that regard, that all the devices, they come with the instruction that is in English. If they say rewind, you will rewind in English. It won't say buyela umva as in Xhosa or Kitsong as in other languages. So this is the strategic digital roadmap that we are considering. We have put it in phases, like 4 phases. We say in the first phase, we'd like to incorporate the localized AI voice translation and the description tools for African languages, because currently the AI translation, it sounds like it's a robot that's reading to us. At SALB, we are using human narrators, we are using human voices. We haven't transitioned fully to the AI voice translations. So we're first going to look into that opportunity. Going forward at phase 2, we're going to secure rated web portals and partners with Telkom, with not only Telkom for cost-free member data, but also with the other network providers as well. On phase 3, we would like to deploy narration studios to the remaining local municipalities, provinces, and public libraries nationwide. Then on phase 4, we would like to pioneer seamless global file exchange through Marrakesh Treaty mechanism. It's just that South Africa has not yet ratified, so that puts us at a disadvantage, but we are hopeful that things will work out very soon. In conclusion, just said knowledge is a birthright. We all know that. Visual impairment should never be a sentence to ignorance. This digital transformation for all is how we fulfill that promise. The library is no longer just a building with books. It is a digital sanctuary. Inclusion is a choice we make every day in our programming and our empathy. In closing, I would like to say thank you for your time. I welcome any questions you may have about our transition or how we can collaborate to further inclusive access. I would like to also appeal to our community librarians, to our provincial librarians and municipality librarians, especially where our mini libraries are housed, that let us work together. The members that we are servicing here are equally members of your libraries by virtue of being the community where your libraries are housed. So if you can collaborate and understand each other, I think the mini library project will work better than it is now. We are open for talks, librarians. Please engage us. Let us know what is it that we can make it better so that we collaborate and make this collective effort successful. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Ms. Nomonde Magubela. Colleagues, we are now Oratu 2. I don't know, apparently, if we can still continue, give us a guideline there, because I know that.
Yes, we can continue until 2.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, colleagues, we've been given a go-ahead by Ntate Nzimande. So, colleagues, indeed, the South African Library for the Blinds are doing wonders. Yes, no one should be left behind. Access to information should be available. Inclusion and accessibility are not are not just a normal thing. I mean, an ordinary thing. It's a norm. We need to do that. This is a great presentation, Ma'am Magubela. We really appreciate that. And then you have from what you have done in normally, and then your transition, it's a very, very challenging work. And then even you said that you have to bypass the copyright. I wonder, how did you do that? Because we need to learn from you regarding that. Thank you so much, but I'm not going to ask you a question. That now I'm going to hand it to Kali so that Kali can take the questions from our colleagues for only 15 minutes. 15 minutes, it's, 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes is going to be left for our vote of thanks. Thank you, colleagues. Let's do that as soon as we can.
Colleagues, thank you so much. Any other question, comment, compliment? You can raise up your hand because we don't have enough time. If you can just be short and brief, then we know we move forward. That was very informative information. Thank you so much, your presenters. It was very insightful for that. And we thank you again. Any other question? Okay, since you're still waiting, can you see any hand? Because I'm not able to see hands this side. If you see any hand, please, you can appoint the person. For now, I'll go through the comments since I don't see any hand. Okay, starting from Busi, where we passed that. Thank you so much. Thank you for such an insightful presentation, Dr. Mabaso. That's from Nomonde. And Gamorelo is also thanking Dr. Mabaso for informative presentation. Seems like everyone is happy with the presentation according to the comments, and there's no question. Okay, from Kenny Chukudu, she's saying great presentation. Says no Monday, we learn every day indeed. I have not been at the library for the blind for years. Many libraries across provinces. Wow, outstanding, and keep that spirit up. Thank you so much, Kenny. Can you see any other hand? If not, all right.
There are two hands from Lisele and Faith.
Okay, Lisele, you can start. After that, then Faith, you can follow. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. My question is to Dr. Mabaso. I just wanted to ask a question about digitization. It's exciting to learn that the library is fully digital. So I just wanted to ask, before they went fully digital, did they have a digitization drive? And was it done in-house or was it outsourced? Just for interest sake, because we are busy with digitization in our organization. So I just wanted to know that. Thank you.
I don't know. You'll indicate if I should respond. I'm not sure, Chair.
Yes, you can respond, ma'am.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Yes, we digitized, and just to mention, we do have some of our information. It's not necessarily the databases. We've got to work at some, for instance, the aeronautical publications, ICAO documents. They need to be digitized. So we went out on tender. We got a service provider, and we did that as a sort of a multifaceted approach, working closely with our records management function. So we went out for a service provider. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. I answered, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Faith, you can ask your question.
Yeah, good afternoon, colleagues, and thank you for the presentation from all our colleagues that has presented. My question is directed to Dineo. I wanted to ask before the other presenters. So my question was when they remove music from the traditional way to digital, is there anything that get lost along, or everything is just intent, it goes there as it is?
Dino, did you get the question?
No, can you please repeat the question?
I wanted to ask if there is anything that get lost when you are removing the music from the traditional to the digital ways, to the digital whatever. Is there anything that get lost along?
We don't remove. We still have the music in the manual form, and we also have music in.
No, we can still hear you, Dineo.
Okay.
It seems like we lost Dino.
Oh.
Okay, because of time that is against us, let us skip.
Okay, to answer you, since I'm working with her,
Yes,
according
please.
to how we do things, we don't cancel what we are having. We continue. If we had information on LP, we don't remove them. We continue. We don't delete the old information. We just continue with the new systems.
Okay, so in
Yeah.
other words, there is nothing that get lost along the way.
We don't
You
get
know,
we don't lose any information. Even if you come and ask something that we're thinking we had in 90s, we'll still have. And
Okay.
especially since we keep having the old equipment, we'll still be able to play that. We make sure that our equipment are still working in case you don't have any equipment that you can play that information, then we'll still do that for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
My hand is up.
Okay, you can go through, ma'am.
Thank you for all the presenters that I managed to join. My question is directed to Dr. Mabaso. I just want to check in terms of, I did write my question on that. I don't know if maybe it's wise to repeat it or it's going to be read. But I just wanted to check in terms of information harvesting or knowledge harvesting from employees. How is it done? Do they do it when the employees exit? Maybe they go for retirement or they resign or do what? Or do they do it while the employees are still within the organization? And what type of how do they approach it? Do they just send the questionnaires to employees, or they conduct the physical interviews, or how do they conduct it? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the question. With the knowledge harvest of employees, we've got a number of tools that we utilize to harvest knowledge. We've got a subject matter expert locator. We've got what we call the legacy program. And the legacy program is targeting, because by nature of the industry that we are in, where it's very specialized and quite few people are specialized or are actually having those particular skills. So what we do from the point of when you join the organization, or because we worked retrospectively, by the fact that knowledge management started 10 years ago within 18 years, so it's not that old. But by the time we started in KM, we already had people who were serving the organization for more than 10, 20, 30 years. So what we did then, we worked very closely with our HC, which is our Human Capital Department, whereby we then came up with a program that we call Legacy Program, identifying the subject matter experts, and then thereafter we identify what we call beneficiaries. So we use various tools. We use mentorship, we use masterclasses, we use coaching over a period of 5 years with that particular specialist having identified the beneficiaries. And in terms of exit, when people exit the organization, it is too late to start saying you're going to do a knowledge harvest. We normally don't even bother because by the time the person leaves the organization, there's only 30 days. There isn't much you can do with that. So in that case, what we do, we've got what we call the onboarding program and the outboard. So a person, when the person leaves, we sit with that person. We just identify the stakeholders that the person was working with, the documents and records that the person was working with, the workspace, and then we actually we do sort of a handover. So the person will hand over to us as KM in anticipation that when the new person joins the organization, who will be resuming in that position, we then hand over that so that it makes it easy for that person to say, okay, this person was working in this department, or in this position, these are the key stakeholders that he worked with. This is what it's quite a process. We can have a different session about it. I can take you through how we do it. But we don't do exit interviews. We totally stay away from it because we feel it's not worth it. It's rather too late. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor, for that information. And I can see we had a question from Jane, and Nomonde already responded to that regarding the copyright, if it's not applicable when it comes to converting for the blind. And the answer was yes. Through Copyright Amendment Bill and VIPO collaborations, SALB is allowed to bypass permissions. Donations by authors, we get permission for converting. Remember, we do not reproduce, we convert print to accessible format so the blind are able to read through these devices. All right, thank you so much, Osnomando, to respond to that.
Thank you
Is
so
there
much.
any, yeah.
Thank you so much, Kali. We are sorry. We are so sorry for the colleagues that we can't give you more time because it's only 3 minutes left. So we need to thank our speakers. Thank you so much. And Miss Maninja, can you kindly go through? Miss Maninja is also the interim committee member, and then is going to thank you colleagues for being there with us until this time of that, especially even the presenters. Thank you so much, Miss Musima. You can go ahead.
Good afternoon, colleagues, and thank you, Ausi Maditsipi. Today's session has clearly illustrated that, as we transition to digital resources, it is not just a response to a change that is happening, but it's a strategic shift that is shaping the future of our libraries. So we need to be the drivers in that shift. Let me start by thanking our speakers, Dr. Refilwe, Ms. Nomonde, Ms. Dineo. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences. Thank you for sharing your challenges and your ways of doing things. And this has been encouraging presentations that you have shared with us. And through this presentation, I just want to reflect quickly on a few lessons. One is that we need to leave our comfort zone and start exploring the new ways of doing things because times are moving and everything is evolving, so we cannot stay behind. And then secondly, lifelong learning. I cannot overemphasize that. We need to be continuous learners. We need to continue to capacitate ourselves. We need to learn from each other. We need to share. We usually say knowledge is power, but knowledge is only powerful if it is shared, if it is used, if it is accessible. So let us make sure that the knowledge that it's shared with us, let us use it to our advantage. And then the other lesson that I want to touch on is the inclusivity. Let us not leave anyone behind. That is what we also learned today, that as we are transitioning, let us think about all of our clients, all of our users that are using our libraries, those that are living with certain with people that are living with certain disabilities, that we need to also make sure that we include them in our services. And then the last one that I want to touch on is the lesson that we learned today is also that our role as librarians is not stagnant. We are evolving, so we need to be intentional about what we are doing, about the services that we are providing. So as we leave this this webinar, let us truly embrace digital resources as a new normal. Let us not be inspired today in the webinar. However, let us take this as a call to action that we need to start doing something about what we have learned today. And then I would also like to thank the organizers of the webinar, the Special Library Interest Group. Thank you for conceptualizing this and all the ideas that we have shared to make it work. And also thank you to our organization, LIASA, through Aphelele, for all the behind the scene work that you have put together to ensure that the session takes place and it's a success. I would also like to just apologize for the technical glitches that we have experienced today. Maybe that is a lesson that we need to learn, that we also need to capacitate ourselves, to capacitate ourselves in technical skills. And then I would like to also thank our chairperson, Ms. Maditsipi, for driving the ship so well. Sometimes you do have turbulence, when we are on air in a plane. So, but we go past that and then we move on. Thank you very much for handling everything well. And the most important people I would like to thank, it's you, colleagues, the participants, for taking the time to attend this session. And I believe that you have learned a lot from this session. And let us really take these lessons with us. And also Kali for managing the question and answer session. Anyone that I have forgotten, I apologize in advance. Thank you so much, colleagues. Let us turn these lessons into action. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Memisima, we